Hello. This is vlog 13 on November 12th, 2020. It's my niece's birthday. Happy birthday, Lucy. And she just got a kitten. Holy shit. That is the best present in the world. A kitten on her 6th birthday. Anyway, I'm here. It's been a week. I've taken about a week off from vlogging, and I got pretty exhausted with that election. Stayed up a little too late some nights. Couldn't think straight for a little while. And then I traveled to pick up some stuff from a storage unit in Boulder. So it's been a heck of a week. The election was called for Biden on Saturday. People partied in the streets. Um, and yet, there is, for some reason, no concession by Donald Trump, or probably because he's planning a coup. Everyone seems to be seeming so, acting accordingly, denying the election results. So that has been interesting. It's going to get bumpy. COVID numbers are back up. Here we are. Now it's finally kind of settling in with people. Like, oh yeah, we need to quarantine again. We've done this before and it sucked, and now we need to do it again. So here we are, mid-November 2020. And this is just a preview because it's going to get really hard with the holidays because people need each other. We need family, especially when it gets dark like this. And so that's like a natural tendency, like a natural need, is that like people need people. And it's going to be interesting to experience that as a nation, as a world, because this is the holiday season for a reason, that it's cold and dark. And yeah, so I recently ran into that because I have a need for friendship and connection. And I recently started dating someone. And then I hung out with my brother who was traveling from New York, and he was concerned about the fact that we went to a bar. And yeah, that was interesting. It was the only time I've really been to a bar this whole year, since COVID, obviously. And then yeah, he was just concerned about the exposure. And that's the deeper thing, is like this is what I think the gift of COVID is. So we're recognizing that we're having strong needs and boundaries for our personal health and well-being, and we have to communicate those needs and preferences and boundaries. And we need to compromise with each other now, because suddenly just hanging out without a mask on it's like unprotected sex. It's like could be contagious. And so everything is heightened. Our sensitivity to each other and our guards and our boundaries and our fear of each other is at an all-time high. And we're all having different experiences, which is making it exceptionally hard, because if someone lives in the Midwest and like doesn't ever hear of someone they know that has a case, or out here in Colorado where we have like 5 cases in the county as of a couple weeks ago. Now it's probably higher. But yeah, our personal background and experiences and our values create a very strong belief system about right and wrong, and the ethics of wearing a mask and hanging out with people without masks. Like how strict is the quarantine? Um, right? It's like I believe we all probably had to negotiate that back in March when this thing first started. It's like, oh, what does this mean for me and the people I see? And what's in my bubble? Who's in and out of my circle? And people's different strictness of their circles. If some people, everyone's taking a different level of precaution. And the deeper level than that is that this is essentially like the religion problem, which is like people have different data sets and that inform their belief systems. So science comes with a certain value set and data set and core belief system that produces certain belief systems. And then religion has different fundamental tenets and notions of reality that create a different reality / belief system. For instance, and then there's the crossover, which is really interesting. So that's kind of where I am in spiritual scientific exploration. And I'll give you an example, like this guy, Joe Dispenza, a very powerful speaker and case study about healing oneself with the mind. Still very controversial and edgy, but also obviously logical in terms of psychology and like the placebo effect and how our minds can impact our bodies. And just like different health notions in general, like what is healthy and what is not healthy, like eating, what is healthy eating? Everyone has a different definition of these things. And how are people taking care of themselves by different practices, not just social distancing and masks, but also self-care, diet, exercise, meditation, prayer, research. Everyone does different things to benefit their health. A lot of people use a lot of logic and rationality and strategize, minimizing risk. And then some people use their heart and their spirit or whatever. People do different things. So that's what I'm sitting with today. Again, I think the thing that this is pointing us towards, that is demanding of us, is that we need to start communicating our boundaries and communicating sensitive, uncomfortable, personal health type things and find compromise and agreement and community through that. So for instance, with this woman I started dating, we are really articulating our needs and our desires and our assumptions and our expectations, and really navigating that and how that feels. And I think this is like the time to do that, to learn how to express our needs and our feelings, and then come to community. So that's where I am on that. And it's interesting to watch it develop as we change. We go into the seasons and the numbers get higher and stuff like that. Otherwise in my life, I would love to share that I started having a coach today. I'm super excited about this need, admitting this need I have for a coach, for support, for mentorship and inspiration and motivation and all that. Discipline, really, actually, accountability. So yeah, that was like kind of the biggest vulnerability that I brought to my coaching session today, was like, I'm asking for help. Like, I need help, as if I'm almost like admitting an addiction or something. It's like, no, I just have strong goals in my life and I need help to achieve them. And the analogy is, if I wanted to be an Olympic athlete, literally, I would literally need a coach. And if I want to be the equivalent of an Olympic athlete in some realm of life, I'm going to need a coach. And my coach said something like, the biggest self-sabotage is thinking that we can do it ourselves or trying to do it alone. And like, number one, guilty right here. Yeah, collaboration is hard. Asking for help is hard. And yeah, I'm done self-sabotaging myself in that way. Another really cool thing that he talked about was balance. And I was saying how I've been really trying to cultivate balance. And he was like, you don't need to be balanced all the time. And I was like, whoa, what? And the analogy came through of a runner going fast. So someone who's running very fast is off balance a lot for a short amount of time. And then they compensate, and then they're equally off balance in the other direction. And that balances itself over time. So you could say someone that's walking slower is more balanced, but you can also be balanced while moving quickly. And so I'm working on being faster and more effective in my life. And one of the ways I'm doing that is by creating more structure and accountability in my day. And he gave me this idea of, if you have 1,000 minutes roughly in the waking hours of day, 1,000 minutes, what percentage of that 1,000 minutes is going towards what? And so I started to chart that out just in terms of blocks of 50 minutes, like 20 blocks of 50 minutes. And You know, how much of that is just rest, how much of that is eating, how much of that is fulfilling other needs, all my needs, right? All of my directions, and just calibrating the percentage input of my waking hours, and therefore being purpose driven. Like, the question is now with me for today at least, what is my purpose at every moment? Like, which sector am I putting this time into? So that feels really cool. And it's like when I'm cooking, that's like, oh yeah, this is my cooking sector. And now I'm eating, and this is my eating sector, which is like the hour that I've allotted, or the 50 minutes I've allotted for dinner. So that's the new game plan, and lots of stuff happening. All the stuff's moving, as I'm sure you can feel. So I'm back on my vlog, blah, 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 and the funny part about this is that I renegotiated about 30 days. I'm going to do 30 vlogs at least, but I took a break and now I'm back, and I am going to do daily. And I think I can do another 18 in a row. This is the goal. So we'll see how that goes. That's the intention. Hold me to it, y'all. Thanks for watching. Peace.